It's theairnetwork.net. Welcome to a special Sunday edition of Penguin Talk as the Penguins get set to take on the San Jose Sharks tomorrow evening at Consol Energy Center in Pittsburgh. Game one of the all-important Stanley Cup Finals. Had a chance earlier to talk with Tom Callihan and Brian Parrish live from the Consol Energy Center. They're there for the morning skate. The Penguins are out on the ice now, and San Jose expected out around 2 o'clock. Joining us this time also, in addition to Coach Cal and Brian Parrish, we've got Jimmy Tighe, one of our regulars on Monday Night Sports Talk, live from Hamburg down around Philadelphia. How you doing, Jimmy?
Doing great, Greg.
Hey, have you been following the Penguins pretty much the last month or so?
Yeah, I have been. I've been watching I watched the whole Capital series and the whole Lightning series down here in Hamburg since it's on NBC Sports. So
right.
Thank God for that channel.
Hey, what's your impressions as the Penguins? Because I don't know, man. That last game that they played, actually, my heart was in my throat, and I heard that same thing from a lot of other people. Were you feeling that same thing?
Yeah, I was. It was like I couldn't really jump around. I did jump around in chair at work, and they were laughing at me. But no, it was the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so of that third period was was awesome. That's all I can say. There's no words. It was just it was awesome.
Yeah, I heard Dave Shannon called me the other night, by the way, and he said, "Man, I almost had to call 911 there." And we're getting to be old dudes now, Cal and Brian. So the problem is, you got to watch watching these games anymore. Brian Parrish and Tom Callihan with us live at Consol, and of course Jimmy Tighe from Hamburg. Hey guys, let's talk about Game 1 tomorrow night, and I'll start with Brian and also Coach Cal. I don't know, what are we going to see, man, in that first night? I mean, Murray going to be in net or Fleury? What are we going to do there?
Well, there's no doubt that Murray's going to be in net. Like we said, he's earned that right. He's gotten them through three very grueling series so far. I mean, the series against Washington alone, you thought maybe Pittsburgh felt like, this was our Stanley Cup final to even get past the President's Trophy winner team. But they came out against Tampa. You had a little bit of a feeling out process there. The hatred wasn't there. You don't see those teams that often, even though they are both on the East Coast.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what to expect here. I think you're going to see a lot of speed. First of all, both these teams are quick, led by a lot of really great veterans.
Right.
Activating D, you've got Letang on one side, you've got Burns on the other, so it should make for a very exciting final.
What's your thoughts, Cal, on that as we open up that Game 1 tomorrow night in Pittsburgh?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm torn. I want to see these young guys continue, but part of me want to just see Malkin and Crosby come out and dominate like we know they can.
Yeah. They're sort of like an all-star lineup, Jimmy, as they go into this thing. I mean, a lot of names that we're familiar with, but these rookies have been playing fantastic, don't you think?
Oh, my God, yeah. You have just that one line alone, minus Kessel, Hagelin and Bonino, and then Rusk with the 2-goal game in the last game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was them rookies and Matt Murray. The rookies are stepping up for Pittsburgh right there.
Yeah, I don't want to say this too loudly, Coach or Brian, but my feeling was when they put Fleury back in net that game, and I just felt so bad. I kind of thought to myself, with his injuries and everything, do you think maybe this might be his last series? I mean, seriously, guys.
Yeah, you know what? That seems to be the consensus around here. But again, you don't know. You've got you've got expansion possibly happening. Not possibly. I think it is going to happen in Las Vegas, and you've got that expansion draft where you can only protect one goaltender.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got that taking place. Fleury's contract being, $5 million. It's a lot of money.
That's a lot. Yeah. In
it's
the
a pretty
NHL.
good contract that you could unload and get a half decent return for players for Pittsburgh. So. The way Murray's playing right now, I just think that this is his team now going forward.
And Cal, they got to have some rookies down below too, in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, I imagine, looking to come up at some given time.
Oh yeah, I mean, we've pretty much depleted their team right now. Half the guys are playing up here for the Pens.
Yeah.
But you have to look forward. Murray's a young guy. Fleury getting up there. I agree with Brian. I think he's the goalie that you're going to protect and see what happens. But it is his team right now, and as far as that goes, a lot of these youngsters have made a push, and it's going to be, up to the Pens to keep them happy and maybe to sign them.
Yeah, airnetwork.net. We're live on the air this morning. Glad to have you along. We've got Brian Parrish and Tom Callihan live from Pittsburgh at Consol Energy Center during the Penguins skate, and Jimmy Tighe joins us from Hamburg, PA. Jimmy, who are some of the guys that impressed you during this last series, and who do you think we watched this series?
I just want to make one point. Whenever Johnstown held Hockeyville, USA,
right?
Who was the goaltender for the Pens? Does anyone remember? Matt Murray.
Was it Matt Murray back in Johnstown when they took on the
Matt Murray? Yeah. And that's when the Pittsburgh fans, because the Pittsburgh fans got to know, okay, Matt Murray from Scranton Wilkes-Barre, good goaltender down there,
right?
But to actually see him play for the first time was in Johnstown, and that's where it all started, was that Hockeyville game.
And Cal, you were a very instrumental part of that game because you were probably involved in all kinds of stuff, weren't you? I mean,
Yeah. Actually, I was on the Warmore Authority, so we got to set it up. And actually, first game goaltender, I believe, was it might have been Jeff Papson from Westmont Hilltop in the deck hockey game.
Yeah.
When Callihan, out of all guys, comes up to Westmont with Bo Bennett, plays a little deck hockey with the Hilltoppers.
Really?
And, so that was the first. That was before the Hockeyville game. That's what I'm calling the first game right there, buddy.
Yeah.
Westmont Hilltop Middle School. Callihan, Bennett, the Westmont Hilltop kids and staff.
Yeah.
I think Brian Parrish might have had a goal in that game.
Brian even had well, that's great. I mean, you didn't get hurt or anything, did you, Brian?
No. I'm not at that age yet where I've got to slow down that much. So, I was able to score one there.
Yeah. Back to Jimmy. Jimmy, keys of the game tomorrow, the guys we should be watching, at least for the Penguins, what kind of line we got?
I still like that HBK line. That's my favorite line. That's the hottest line right now for Pittsburgh.
Right.
Kessel's been on a tear, so just watch out for that line. And for the Lightning, you gotta control Joe Thornton and Logan Couture. They're two big guns on that team, and Pavlovsky. So just watch out for that. Just my keys to the game right there.
Hey, go ahead. Hey, Cal and Brian, who do you guys see as instrumental in this game, really? And, I mean, as far as the Penguins and the Sharks are involved tomorrow night.
I think we have to step up early. We can't get into a funk right off the bat. We do have the first game at home, so we've got to come out and play like it. Defense has got to be strong. We can't leave Murray out to hang. But I'm really going back to what I said. I think Crosby and Malkin, they're the veterans. They've been here before. Yeah. They've played in the Stanley Cup, so they got to come out and lead the way for this Pens team.
Go ahead, Brian.
I agree. I mean, you've got these veterans in place. They've been here before. Mm-hmm. A lot of people forget that this isn't just their second Stanley Cup final. They went against Detroit for 2 years in a row. Yeah. Lost that first one, so they know what to expect. I'm pretty sure of it. And even though San Jose is loaded with veteran leadership, no one's been to this place yet. They've got a couple guys and a coach that were in New Jersey at one point in time on the Stanley Cup team. But, the Thorntons, the Marlows, they've been there for 18 years, but they haven't been to a Stanley Cup final yet. So it'll be interesting to see what impact that has on them going forward.
It's the airnetwork.net. We are live on the air this morning. Glad to have you along as we talk about Penguin hockey. The Penguins getting set to take on San Jose Sharks tomorrow night in Pittsburgh, by the way, where Brian Parrish and Tom Callihan are for the morning skate with the Penguins at the Consol Energy Center. Let me throw this out to all you guys real quick. I'm watching the San Jose St. Louis series, guys, and especially Brian and Tom. And I'm seeing some brutality on the ice with these Sharks. These guys are, dominant when it comes to, maybe even, hitting and hard checking. I mean, they don't take any kind of prisoners at all.
Yeah, that's been the MO of Western Conference teams. Everyone says that they're bigger, they're stronger. Yeah. You see a lot more hitting going on and stuff like that, which in my mind maybe benefits Pittsburgh a little bit. Maybe San Jose's coming in a little bit beat up.
Yeah.
St. Louis, that was a tough series, and it's not as if San Jose had easy series against the teams prior to as well. You had your LAs and stuff like that. Those are all big teams that come and they hit. So if anything, but it's not as if Pittsburgh went through without getting hit.
Oh, no.
Tampa Bay, the Callihan hit on Letang comes to mind for me. these guys took their licks as well. So I think they're kind of lucky that they only had maintenance day for 2 players today, which was Bonino and Letang. So everyone else is out on the ice and looks pretty healthy to me.
Go ahead, Cal.
Yeah, I have to agree, and I think everyone's forgetting we had a tough, hard-hitting series against the Capitals.
Oh yeah,
I mean that's a big team. Ovechkin and company come out, they lay the wood, and I think that benefited us with our speed that we were able to get around that. They wanted to hit, we wanted to skate. So I think that's going to come out in the Penn's favor.
Hey, Jimmy, one of the things I heard from my friend down in Florida while we were watching the game, she would call oftentimes, and she kept making a remark of one of the San Jose Sharks being a goon. She said, he's a goon. Well, I'm thinking the whole defense was a goon. But anyhow, is your thought that maybe they do kind of play a rough and tough style of hockey on the West Coast, as Brian alluded to?
Yeah, I agree with that. That the West Coast hockey is a more physical side of the NHL, but you have to look at, like, one of the former Pens is now playing against the Pens, and Paul Martin.
Oh yeah, okay.
You forgot about him, and he's like the leader of that defense basically, and he knows how he knows the moves that Crosby makes, or he knows how Malkin plays because he played against them in practice and he sees them in the games for how many years. So that could be a key right there. Is Paul Martin?
Right. Right. Hey, guys, let's go back to something that we talked about on Sports Talk, probably 2 months ago. This whole thing, the changes of the coaches now. Obviously, Sullivan brings something to the table. He's finally gotten the lines together. There was a time in December, January, it looked kind of iffy. But I even questioned Rutherford there for a while. Did you, Tom, and Brian question his move at that time?
No question whatsoever. Had to happen. You listen to what some of the players have talked about. He brought pride back. He brought toughness back.
Yeah.
And as Brian said earlier, he's letting them play to their capabilities, Brian. I think you mentioned that, and I think that's right on spot.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, especially with bringing Sullivan up from Wilkes-Barre, a lot of people forget. They initially opened up at 15-10-3 with him, which, it's respectable. They lost their first 4 under him. So it takes time to implement this. You're so used to playing the system that was being played from October to December. And then all of a sudden you've got this infusion of youth. You've got the speed coming in from the Hagelin for Perron deal. So, I mean, things took time, and, eventually we got to where we're at today. So.
Well, that last system, Jimmy, had to be called basically a garbage system because it seemed like the players weren't even buying into that at the time, right?
Yeah. No, not at all. Like, I remember a story that I heard that Malkin honestly thought that Johnston was like the equipment manager, assistant equipment manager, and he handed him his skates. And he's like, "No, dude, I'm your head coach." So right from there, you knew it wasn't going to work out.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of mutual respect going on in that camp. And it seemed like at that time, and I'm reading the newspapers, like guys were throwing each other under the bus at that time, especially their coach. So things have changed. Here we are now, Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Your Penguins taking on San Jose Sharks tomorrow night. And, of course, in Game 1, hey, Cal and Brian, there's got to be some advantage to being at home on that first game, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you probably always want to open a series, especially one as important as the Stanley Cup Final at home. But, not to take anything away, San Jose has probably got the best record road-wise of any team in the NHL. Not only in the playoffs, but in the regular season. But if I'm gonna start the Stanley Cup Finals, I want to play it at home. Yeah, definitely start it out.
Well, I agree. Friendly crowd, friendly bounces.
Yeah. Hey, so how are they working out this morning, Kyle and Brian? Since you guys are a console, how are they looking? Pretty good. I hear the pucks hitting the boards a lot, though.
Yeah, you've only got about 5 or 6 left down on the ice, so they're wrapping it up for the day here. But they looked every bit as quick as they do game time. So Sullivan definitely doesn't allow them to take any practices off. So they're showing their team speed even in practice.
Jimmy, this thing's probably going to go 7, as Brian and Coach alluded to. What do you think? Go 7, and how do you see that score tomorrow night? Just a prediction.
Oh man,
it's hard to predict hockey, though, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a long series. It's going to go 7 games. Maybe no. I'm going to say it's going to go 6 games. Penn's going to win.
Really? Okay.
And I just jinxed this all.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
But I think the final score tomorrow. It will be something like, I'm going to say, Penguins 3, San Jose 2.
Okay. Hey, Tom, and then Brian, what do you guys think? Tomorrow night opens this series up with a win, and what kind of prediction we got?
Go ahead. I'm going 4-3. Pens. I think a little more higher scoring than we've seen lately. I think it could be a little case of the nerves. You might see a couple goals early on before the goalies settle down. Okay. But I'm sticking with my Pens in 7. Brian?
Yeah, I agree. I think you're going to see a couple goals that some of these goaltenders are going to want back here early in the series. But I go a little higher there. I say maybe a 5-4, 4-3 game. But hopefully, knocking on wood here, that the Penguins come out on top.
Hey, to the best of your knowledge, do we have any injuries that are pending right now?
You know what, I did read right before we came out here onto the ice that Callihan was doing a little bit of limping on Saturday through the locker room, but he came out, was skating fine. We had Letang and Bonino, I think, just taking general maintenance days because Tom and myself both saw Letang down in the lower portion of console here, and he seemed fine. So it's probably just a couple maintenance days here. But other than that, I think we're pretty healthy here on this side. As far as San Jose, I'm not real sure about. Like I said, you're dealing with bumps and bruises. You're getting this far into the playoffs, but I can't see them having anyone that's got any major injuries at this point.
Final thoughts, Jimmy, and then Coach Cal, and then Brian. What are you thinking, Jimmy?
Let's go Pens.
All right, Cal and Brian. Go ahead.
Jimmy, do they let you wear your Pens gear out there toward Philly, or do you have to hide it?
Oh, jeez.
I wear it at work, and I get yelled at. They're like, "You got to change that shirt." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to change my shirt." Or I'll have the game on, and they're like, "The guys don't want to watch hockey."
Oh,
I work in a hospital setting now. And I'm like, well, yes, they do, because I want to watch it.
Hey, Jimmy, tell them the story about the time you walked into that McDonald's bathroom, almost a hockey game or a fight almost broke out. Never mind, I'm just kidding. Brian, your final thoughts?
What do you say? My final thoughts, I can't wait. I just feel like it's going to be an exciting series. Looking forward to it. I think we've got, again, two very, very quick teams. Veteran leadership, good goaltending. It should make for a great final.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks again. Hey, Cal, before I let you go, since you used the Air Network name to get in, they got any food down there, right? They got any food down there right now for all you media guys?
Lunch is at 1.
Lunch is at 1, brother. I'll take a picture, send it to you.
Oh, there's actually a media lunch.
There always is.
Wow, I wonder what kind of food they're going to serve you guys.
If it was anything like the Winter Classic, it shouldn't be too bad.
I'm going to send you a picture. You can put it online for everyone to see.
Thank you. You make me feel bad. Anyhow, Cal and Parrish, thank you guys. I appreciate it. And Jimmy, thank you, man.
No problem, buddy.
Let's go, Pens. Hold on the line. It's the airnetwork.net live this morning.